I am drinking another smoothie with seeds in it. Thank you for joining me today. Some stories we inherit, some we choose, some we carry because no one else could. This space is for those stories, the quiet ones, the heavy ones, the ones that remind us we're still here. Each Friday, we pause to honor the emotional labor behind advocacy, care, and survival. We share personal, historic, or communal stories and reflect on what it teaches us about dignity, resilience, and repair. This week's story, we'll unpack it gently. No rush, no spectacle, just a moment to breathe, remember, and reconnect. Today is Compassionate Friday. And if we're serious about compassion, then we must talk about abortion, not as a political football, but as a deeply human experience. Abortion is a medical procedure, just like treating a heart attack, just like managing diabetes. And yet, unlike those conditions, abortion is legislated, criminalized, and moralized, often by people who will never face the decision themselves or hide it when they do. No law can predict what will happen inside a body. No statute can foresee a fetal death in utero. No courtroom can feel the heartbreak of a wanted pregnancy that ends in silence. We must name the difference between maternal abortion, a choice made with agency, grief, and care, and biological necessity, a miscarriage, a fetal anomaly, a medical emergency. But here's the truth: the body doesn't distinguish between those categories, and neither should our compassion. People who choose abortion deserve dignity. They deserve privacy. They deserve medical care without shame, delay, or surveillance. Because compassion means believing people. It means trusting their stories. It means refusing to legislate their pain. So today, we honor those who've made the choice. We honor those who've had no choice, and we demand a world where medical decisions are made with healthcare providers and not courtrooms and government policy makers. This is Compassionate Friday, and compassion, real compassion, means showing up for people, especially when their stories are politicized, misunderstood, or erased. With that, we share both male and female stories. We know that many men have their own abortion stories that are painful and that their voice has been silenced for the same reasons that women's voices have. And so if you have an abortion story, I'm more than eager to share it if you want it shared through my amplified voice. All right, now, in the beginning, abortion was widely practiced and legal until quickening, the point when fetal movement could be felt. I rarely felt fetal movement. It was considered, in my firstborn, it was considered part of women's health care, often provided by midwives using herbal remedies or physical methods. Okay, let me say that again, because prior to the 1800s, right, prior to like US industrialization, abortion was widely practiced. I mean, it was just practiced by midwifery. It was considered part of women's health care, often provided by midwives using herbal remedies or physical methods, right? So we were doing it. Our bodies had something happen within them, and the body then rejected the fetus that was growing inside. It no outside forces. That's just a human body doing a human thing. And so then the body needs to get rid of the fetus, and oftentimes an abortion is conducted in order to do that, in order to completely clear out the uterus so that then it can again have another healthy pregnancy, right? It was just what happened. You just did it, right? Until about the 1847 to 1880s, medical gatekeeping and criminalization. So the newly formed American Medical Association began pushing to regulate medicine and eliminate midwives. Why? Because they have Vaginas. Okay. Physicians, mostly white men, lobbied to criminalize abortion to consolidate control over reproductive care. By 1880, nearly all states had laws banning abortion except to save the life of the pregnant person. In the 1910s and 1930s, total bans and dangerous outcomes. By 1910, abortion was illegal in every state at every stage of pregnancy. Exceptions were rare and decided solely by doctors. In 1930, unsafe, illegal abortions caused nearly 2,700 maternal deaths, 18% of all maternal deaths that year. In 1955 to the 1970s, we had reform and public health advocacy. In 1955, Planned Parenthood hosted a national conference calling for abortion law reform. Growing awareness of unsafe procedures led to calls for legal access, and states began liberalizing laws in late 1960. Especially for cases of rape, incest, or health risk. Okay, rape and incest, that victimizes the victim again, right? Why does rape and incest even begin? This says, if you rape someone or you had incest with someone, then it's okay for them to have an abortion. No. You don't get a free ride because you did something bad. Let's punish that rapist. Let's spend more time convicting the rapist and convicting the incest person and making them have negative consequences than punishing a victim. Oh, that just gets to me so much. All right. In 1973, Roe versus Wade legalizes abortion nationwide. The Supreme Court ruled that abortion was protected under the constitutional right to privacy. Roe established a trimester framework. Bad, very bad. No trimesters. No. First trimester, abortion legal without restrictions. Second trimester, states could regulate. Third trimester, states could restrict unless the pregnant person's life or health is at risk. This is where I'm going to say, I had the opportunity to listen to Dr. Shelley Sella, and I put her information in my, in the description because when she was asked about Roe versus Wade, she said, we need to stop the legal battle on legalizing abortion or not. It should not be in the courtroom. It's a health procedure. And I alluded to this earlier. It's a health procedure similar to diabetes or a heart attack. And we don't legislate those, right? We don't legislate who can get those or vasectomies. Again, personal opinion here. Maybe we need to legislate who can get vasectomies. Anyway, she's saying that Roe versus Wade was bad. It was not good because of this trimester thing, which does not exist in nature. It does not exist naturally. And that really it should not be legislated at all. All right. In 1992, Planned Parenthood versus Casey replaced Roe's trimester model with undue burden standard, and states could regulate abortion as long as they didn't place substantial obstacles in the way of access. That's what Wyoming is doing. Wyoming places substantial obstacles in the way of access. Okay, and we'll talk about that too. In 2022, Dobbs versus Jackson overturns Roe. So the Supreme Court ruled that abortion is not protected by the Constitution. States regained full authority to ban or restrict abortion. As of 2025, abortion is banned or severely restricted in over 20 states. It's not banned in Wyoming. Abortion is actually legal. But access is available in Wyoming. Framing or commentary or advocacy. Okay, abortion has always existed. It's the legality and controls that have shifted. Criminalization was driven by power, not morality. Physicians wanted to eliminate midwives and regulate women's bodies. Legal access is a public health issue, not a partisan debate. And compassion means trusting people to make decisions about their own bodies without fear, shame, or surveillance. All right, states where abortion is legal throughout pregnancy: Colorado, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, District of Columbia. In these places, abortion is treated as a private medical decision between patient and provider. Late-term abortions are rare and usually occur due to severe fetal anomalies or risk to the pregnant person's health. Important notes: even in these states, third trimester abortions are typically performed only under specific medical circumstances. Providers may have internal policies or ethical guidelines that shape availability, and access can still be limited by geography, cost, and clinic capacity. As of October 2025, 21 states and the District of Columbia offer some form of abortion freedom, meaning abortion is legal and accessible to varying degrees. Often the protections for gestational limits, provider discretion, and patient privacy. All right, so got the states here. My cat is like just needs some compassion right now. Okay, advocacy framing. This is important. Abortion freedom. Let's talk about that. Legal access doesn't always mean practical access, especially in rural states like Wyoming. Compassionate care requires more than legality. It demands infrastructure, funding, and protection from harassment. Abortion access in Wyoming. Wellspring Health Access is open. It's Wyoming's only abortion clinic. There's some laws that are out there. The clinic, this is what I was talking about, like they're legislating inaccessibility. The clinic has been forced to close. It's open now because a law requiring it to be licensed as an ambulatory surgical center, a costly upgrade designed to regulate it out of existence, and a law mandating ultrasounds before medication abortions, even in rural areas where access is limited. So my cat's helping me ground. In Wyoming, abortion is legal. You can get an abortion. It is available. And through Chelsea's Fund, if you look into Chelsea's Fund, I should probably include that too. There's funding if you need financial assistance. All right. Legal battle still ongoing. Wyoming passed a total abortion ban and medication abortion ban after Roe versus Wade was overturned in 2022. Both bans were declared unconstitutional by a state judge in November 2024. I think that needs to stand. The Wyoming Supreme Court heard arguments in April 2025, but hasn't ruled yet, meaning access remains legal under injunction. They need to throw it out. They need to say this is no longer a legal issue. This is a healthcare issue, and it can no longer be legislated by the government, by Wyoming government. Trap laws. Wyoming lawmakers to continue to push targeted regulation of abortion providers. This is trap laws, requiring clinics to meet surgical center standards. No, it's not the same. Forcing doctors to have admitting privileges at nearby hospitals, which are not required to grant them, and mandating detailed reporting and licensing burdens not applied to other medical procedures. Okay, again, let's go back to that. Not applied to other medical procedures. Voices of resistance. Julie Burkhart, founder of Wellspring, said she emphasized that patients from across Wyoming and the Mountain West rely on the clinic for safe, compassionate care. And let's see, I do have sources for that, so I can share that. All right. And then how much time have I spent? Oh, it's 1:34. That's interesting. I can go on, but I think, okay, yeah, I want us to talk about this too. But I think I'll put it into like just a monologue. Okay, thanks for listening. If you listened, thanks for watching. If you watched, we're going to keep telling stories. We're going to keep this advocacy going and just see where it leads. Just float down the river. We don't have any rapids in front of us right now, so I think it's just smooth sailing at the moment. Something could happen.